Conversations with Hope Nation. And this is episode 5, Cinco de Mayo. Well, last week we were under this extreme duress because the Markel factory in the town that we live in was on fire. It was an 8-alarm fire. It was crazy. We could see fire outside of our deck door, and so we still did the show with all the smoke and all the mayhem that was going on. Even though I went to cancel, the team said, no, let's do it. And we did, and we were good. I was very nervous. So we're back. We're good. We don't smell like smoke anymore. And so, how was your weekend? What did you do? Did you watch the big game? Did you watch the big show, which is the Super Bowl? A lot of people didn't watch the Super Bowl because the ratings were down. They were the lowest they had been in 11 years. So, power to the people. Yeah. The people have spoken, you know. I don't know if they want Kaepernick back in the league. I don't know what they want. What are you doing on your phone again?
Oh, I'm listening to what you're saying.
No, you gotta pay attention. I don't know what the people want, but we're getting it. You know, the halftime show was horrible. See, I watched it not because I watched it for reporting. You know, I had to watch it. I have to be informed, right? And it was boring, super boring. To the point, huh? No.
His outfit was terrible.
What I didn't even see what he had.
Leather. You seen that?
Kind of like a leather outfit,
Yeah.
and like they call them chest rigs. That's like the newest thing, the newest part of fashion.
Oh, the shirt thingy.
No, not the shirt. It's an actual like chest rig. It's almost like a chest vest.
You can fly away with it.
Or
Chris Brown really revolutionized that. He wore that a lot. But Tupac was big on wearing things wrapped around him, leather pieces and stuff like that. So I know my fashion, you know. And then Bobby Brown, people like that, the fake, like what do you call those things? That's, you know, looking like you got on the vest. Tretch wore those things a lot. So freaky people usually wear those. Anyway, so no, I did not like his fashion reason. I didn't even notice it. I just know that he was supposed to be like an asteroid coming into the stadium. It didn't blow over well. Poor Adam and Bean, they just ridiculed him to death. How did you feel about him showing his nipples?
I guess he was trying to compete with Janet Jackson.
But they let him get away with it.
Yeah, he didn't get us.
So do we call that white male privilege or what?
You really want to get into that right now?
Hey, it is what it is. Like
white man privilege?
White
male.
White male privilege. There's white privilege and then there's white male privilege. I mean, that's like the top echelon because, you know, women, we're still in the suffrage movement. You know, women still suffer even though they're white. Women are suffering. You don't know nothing about that, girl. And you never will. Yep, no. That's Tay-Tay, guys. Clap for Tay-Tay.
Yeah,
Welcome, Tay-Tay. So anyway, the Super Bowl was terrible. The score was low. You know who had a good time though at the Super Bowl? Robert Kraft. That's his name, Robert. His first name is Robert?
Yeah.
Oh,
the owner. I mean, he was everywhere. He was on stage with Cardi B, gyrating. He was with Meek Mills. He was with every rapper imaginable. He had himself a good time. It looked like he also kissed Tom Brady in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember I said that? And then I saw memes and we were watching. I said, did he kiss him in the mouth? And then when I was scrolling on Instagram, it certainly looked like they kissed in the mouth. And to each his own, right? And as long as he doesn't get a Me Too, I guess he's fine. Anyway, moving to Royal or something.
No.
Royal.
Is he royal?
Where's he from? They from England, right?
No. What are you talking about?
You saying that's the name of the team? Why don't you talk about?
She think we're talking about football, like soccer.
Please forget.
That's Mama Pocket, you guys. I don't know what just took place. She had surgery in October. She's still like on the mend. She's okay. I don't know what happened. That was a little weird. Anyway, so that was pretty much a weekend. I don't think nothing else big really happened over the weekend.
Those riots for the Metropolitan Detention Centers.
NBCU. Yes. Okay, so it wasn't a riot.
Right.
That's like the news.
Protest, yeah.
Yeah. So the federal facility that holds the men they didn't have electricity for a week. And so some local activists got together and they started protesting, and it got bigger because then the families of the inmates and other people who wanted to be a part of it came down to downtown Brooklyn to the federal building, and they protested until they got the lights turned back on. And that was really great because it happened. I just have a, I'm a devil's advocate for a lot of people. I have a question. So we love human rights and everybody should be with electricity and stuff like that. But what if that same person that was picking it would have found out that one of the people in there was somebody that killed a relative or something? Wow. Now you gotta chill. See that? Hey, people.
Did she hurt her head?
No, she's good.
Not
This is what happens in live television, guys.
Just leave it.
Leave it to
Yeah. It was
Because it
stuck.
broke. It broke off.
It broke?
Like the
Thumbtack.
thumbtack.
I ain't say so. You gotta get under control.
Yep. I had to make it still. She bust my
So anyway, so how how does that work? Right? Okay, so basically, I was so really interested. Like, we want human rights for people, but do we want it for people, all people, or just the people that we care about? Because when you do something for one, you got to do it for all. How touchy is it being an activist for prisoners? Because some of the prisoners aren't innocent. Some of the prisoners have done some heinous things. Like,
I think it's a thin line.
Is it thin line?
And I think you have to be very clear on which you're advocating for.
Yeah.
I guess in that case they were advocating just for
Basic.
like human rights.
Right.
Like
Right.
not necessarily the charges and what people like. I felt like at that point it didn't matter what the person was in jail for.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to be incarcerated, then they should be incarcerated under the proper conditions.
All right.
So
when we talk about like free this one and free that one, and like we want people free that have been like mass murderers and stuff like that. Like, do we know what we're saying when we say, "Oh, free so and so," even though he killed like 20 people?
I think that's from a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's speaking for like the general population of those kind of people. Because
Right.
if you say, like you said, if you're saying free a person for committing a murder or a mass murderer, then you need to have that same energy for everybody who's locked up under that circumstance.
No, don't touch that. No, you're right. So yeah, so that's it. I want everybody to have power, and electricity and be able to flush their toilets. Because I had the inmates in there. Now the inmates, I was kind of concerned about them because some of them had cell phones, right? And they were like on Instagram showing that they didn't have like the toilets wasn't flushing and stuff. So I bet you they got, some people probably got into a lot of trouble, because they're not supposed to have phones in there.
Not at all.
Yeah.
That's contraband.
Yeah. So was it worth it?
For the inmates?
Yeah.
Well, they don't care because they can't. How much more time they gonna get out with the cell phone? So I guess for them it's like it was it wasn't worth it for the people who gave them those cell phones.
I mean, inmates have a lot of stuff. Anyway, I worked in juvenile detention, and even down to the juveniles, you'd be surprised at the amount of things that they have access to and who's giving it to them. Anyway, let's move right along. So yesterday we did get a chance to watch American Soul, the Soul Train autobiography or whatever, or biography. It's not auto because he's not there. His son, actually, Tony Cornelius, Don Cornelius' son. That's a tongue twister. Tony Cornelius is an executive producer. He actually works, I think, like at TV One. He's been on Centric when it was called Centric, and now it's BET Her. They're going through a whole bunch of name changes. But anyway, he was really big about getting Soul Train back on and revamping the Soul Train Awards and doing that cruise that they do. So he's been really good at keeping his father's legacy going. So shout out to Tony Cornelius. His name's Anthony Cornelius for keeping his father's legacy going. Unfortunately, we lost Don Cornelius. He was 75 years old, and he shot himself in the head. It was fun. It was not funny, but it was a funny thing. When we first moved out here, that's around the time it happened. And when I was writing the book, I was thinking about a quote, a thing that I was writing, and it was a word could either make your mind up or make you change your mind, or vice versa. And when I heard that he died, that's what clicked to me. Like, what could have been done to save Don Cornelius? I mean, because clearly, whatever demons he was suffering with, he had them for many, many years. He didn't just turn 75 and all of a sudden get depressed or want to commit suicide. He was battling that all those years. So, like, at what point did he say enough is enough? Why? What would happen? I'm often, thinking about that kind of stuff. And which leads me into what I want to talk about was seasonal depression, which is a very real thing. I named it that. I don't know if that's a real name. I don't think it is, but they have winter depression, things of that nature. But I get that every so often. I think I'm going to go around and see if anybody else suffers with any little depression, but I know I definitely get it. Around springtime, maybe because it's like leading into my birthday. So like the other day, it was a really nice springy day, and I have this eye condition, like my brother has it too, and he actually has a better form of it because he actually still can drive and do things, and I can't. And so I was the sun made me really depressed. It made me happy to see the sun and hear the birds chirping and everything, but it made me really sad because I thought of the loss of independence that I had. I'm not the same Kawana that I used to be. And so that made me really sad. I used to go out to restaurants by myself, movies, shopping, all of this, not needing permission from anybody, just get up and go. And so when you lose that get up and go, that really plays something on your mind. It makes you feel like, what are we doing here? So I understand like geriatric people who lose their mobility, or even people that would lose arms and legs and all type of function, what that does to your psyche. So what that does to your psyche or whatever, it really plays a major part. So what did I do the next day? What did I do that day? I just went through it. A lot of times we have these things and we kind of just don't go through it. We try to cut it off. I let it play out because it needs to come out. The tears, the anger, whatever needs to come through with the depression, it needs to come out. And then you say, you know what? When tomorrow greets me, it's a new day, and I will meet it, and I will introduce myself as a different person. So that's how I approach that whole depression whenever it comes. That day is just a somber day. You try to get through it. I meditated. I prayed. I cried just a little, not too much. A couple little tears. And the next day I woke up, I was in a better space. And that doesn't always happen for everybody. Shout out to, rest in peace rather, to Christophe St. John from The Young and the Restless. Someone who battled depression for many years because of the loss of his son due to depression and drug addiction. He shot himself in the head. But Christophe St. John, they still don't know what happened. Some are saying alcohol played a factor. He might have drank himself to death over the weekend. I mean, I don't know how much you got to drink to do that, but I've heard of it happening on college campuses, binge drinking, and you can get alcohol poisoning or whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's more to that story. And this is a man who was getting up every day on your favorite soap opera, Young and the Restless, for 31 years. For 31 years. He didn't just wake up one day depressed. Again, this is something that probably lived with him his entire life until one day you wake up and you say, that's it. The final nail in the coffin. So now, kind of understand where that saying comes from. So, Mom, do you get depressed? This is Mama Pocket, you guys.
No. At this stage in my life, I don't get depressed. I used to suffer with depression. I wanted to kill myself at one point, but thank Yahweh that I don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad about my mother sometimes, but other than that, no.
That's good. So what do you think helps you not to be depressed? Is it gratitude or?
Just the change in my life. The changes that I made in my life helped me not to be depressed anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes you just have to change your life.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
Yeah.
When you're accustomed to doing something for many years.
Right. Okay. Any advice for someone who's going through that?
If you have to seek professional help, go and get it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you could talk it out, that's fine. But if you need help, then go get it. But I'll tell you one thing. If you get on your knees and start praying every day, that's a great big help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tracy, Mrs. Tam Tips over here. Tracy with the knife and Callie.
No, I'm not depressed, or do I deal with depression? I think I've seen enough to be in a place where it wouldn't make sense. It would probably be an insult to my president to be depressed about anything, if that makes sense. And definitely prayer. So anytime I'm feeling away, I just start saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like the same way Tina Turner was Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. I would do that until it's gone, whatever it is that I'm feeling, because there's so much to be thankful for.
Amen.
So there's no reason for me to dwell on whatever the one or two things that aren't quite where I think or feel they should be. So I don't really have a depressive mind state with that.
Well, shout out to her.
I mean, you know, I get sad. I'm here by myself as far as family and friends go. I mean, I have friends here, but all of my childhood friends I'm still friends with are all back in California. So I get sad, but again, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I'm doing well for myself to be somewhere alone with no net. So for me to...
What you mean? We here.
No, but I'm saying, so I was here before I got to meet all of these lovely people. I didn't have a net then. I have a net now.
All right.
I'm
You
saying,
gotta
like,
tell them.
like, as far as my, I guess, kin, there's nobody here. So I'm on a balance beam. Or like sometimes I feel like I'm on a balance beam, and in those moments, to me, it doesn't make sense for me to let anything make me feel depressed, because I'm doing well when I could be doing
So basically,
10 times worse than what I am.
there are times though when you feel like you want to be sad.
Sad, but that's usually homesick. So I don't know. The line is blurred between homesick and sadness, and it's usually, I guess, seasonal, because in the winter I can't stand it here. I cannot stand having to put on 10 layers of clothes to run to the store. It is so annoying. I do not like it, and every year I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go home. Every year, and it's been almost 9 years. No, this year makes 9 years. Yeah, so it's been a long time, and every year I'm like, I got to go home. This is not going to work for me. Every time we get below 50.
Poor baby.
Every time. So imagine last week our high was 9 degrees. It was one of those days.
All right. And so the millennial around the way with Mayne, do you know what depression is?
I don't know if it's like depression or if it's sadness, but I think I felt it before, yeah, for sure.
And what made you feel like that?
Trying to figure out my direction.
Yeah, that can make you depressed.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, we're thinking about something that lasts, you know, like sad is like, you know, a day I'm sad. You know, sometimes depression can be a week. It can be, you know, like it can be, it's a moment. It's definitely a moment. It's just like not a fleeting thought. It's a moment where you feel like, okay, like when is this going to be over with? You know, I'm tired of feeling like that. I just want to sleep. I don't, you know, it alters you. You know, you can definitely feel it's very heavy. It's a presence. So, that makes sense?
Yeah.
So not knowing what direction you want to go in life with, you know, that's big. That's major.
Choices out there.
Yeah, a lot of kids in college get extremely depressed. That's why you have to watch them. That's why they're drinking. That's why they're having like a lot of sex. That's why they're doing a lot of reckless behavior, because they don't know that they have anxiety or that they're depressed. They don't even know. They're feeding it. They're self-treating it.
They don't know how to express that.
Exactly. A lot of people don't, so yeah. So that makes sense. So how do you make yourself feel better? I mean, be honest. What's the tools that you...
You'll pick up something.
Retail therapy.
Yeah. The mall is...
Shopping is your cardio.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
I think it does that for me too. Like, I mean, honestly, you just want to buy something. You just want to do something.
Yeah.
You just want to spend some money. But then the real depression comes in when you ain't got no money. now you don't even have an outlet. So what do you do when you don't have, when you can't shop, when you can't go anywhere? Because like me, you can't drive off and just let the wind blow through your hair while you're driving so you can think. You can't do that. What do? You can pray. You can do all those things. When I worked where I used to work at, we used to have this thing. We had a program we used called Sanctuary, and one of the things that we had was a safety plan. And the safety plan was 5 things that you can do that you do not need permission to do. Because a lot of times we say, oh, we want to go shopping. Well, I worked with incarcerated youth, so they couldn't go shopping when they got depressed. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't leave. So what could they do? And we were there locked in with them, so what could we do? So my thing was, drink some water, breathe, meditate, read a book if I could, maybe pray, I just say pray, right? And it was like, a couple of other things, but you'd be surprised at how hard it is to find 5 things that you can do without permission. But there are things that you can definitely do. You can imagine, right? Your brain is there. You can just take yourself away. You can, you can write. That's an outlet for you. You can sing, you can listen to music. Certain things that you can do. So music is definitely my A1 go-to whenever I'm feeling crazy. So you know I'm feeling crazy, because I'll be blasting music and I can listen to music all day long and not do nothing else. That's what I'm going through, and that's what pulls me through, So what about you, Rashad?
What was the question? Because I was waiting for a while.
Oh yeah, he was on daddy duty. Depression. Have you been talking about battling it? Have you ever dealt with depression?
Oh.
And what ways do you bring yourself out of it?
Of course. Yeah, I've dealt with depression. Back when what you said about being in college, when I made the decision to go back to school at a later age. And
he was like old man Winter on camera.
Yeah, I was.
But he did it.
Yeah, I finished.
Purchase.
I went back and I had high expectations for college, and I felt like after I graduated, all these opportunities would be available to me, and they weren't. So I went there with a game plan and came out with nothing.
Oh, don't say it like that.
No,
you got a degree.
Yeah, I got a degree. Not came out with nothing, but I didn't come out with a plan. Like I didn't have a direction on where I was going to go. Right. And I went back at such a late age. I put a lot of pressure on myself because of that. Right. So and then I also get depressed. When I start reflecting around the time of my birthday, which is in the summer. Mm-hmm. Sometimes warm weather and lack of funds can make a person very depressed.
Definitely.
But for me, it's like a reflection. Especially as you're getting older, you getting up in age, and you like, all right, I had goals set for myself at the beginning of the year, and here I am rolling around, a year later, and they still haven't met those goals. So that can some kind of depression because you're trying to figure out how do you reach those goals. Exactly. So those are some of the things that I've dealt with in terms of depression, and how do I get out of it? Buy myself sneakers. But
if you can't buy yourself sneakers, then how do you?
Recently, I haven't really been going through it because I'm a new father, so my daughter was born right after my birthday, so over the last 2 years, I haven't really had a chance to think about myself. And I guess the times where I would be depressed, those are now turned into like real goals and like motivational factors, making sure I could put myself in the best position, so I could, take care of my daughter. So they're not so much depressions now, but I definitely went through my times where I felt like the world was on my shoulders, and I spent my times, beating myself up and feeling sorry for myself. So. Everybody goes through it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, is there anything that somebody else could do to help you come out of it?
That's for everybody. For me, can anybody help you? Yeah, I mean, a lot of times.
Or do you need to just be like, don't bother me right now?
Not me. Like, I mean, it depends. Well, with like Andre, he knew I was so upset about not being able to move around. The next day, he came on his lunch break from driving the bus. He came all the way back to Jersey to take me to the store on his lunch break. That was pretty cool. You know, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't ask, but he was like, you know, you deserve that. Like, you know, I don't want you to, you know, be sad. I don't want you to hurt yourself being sad. So anything that I can do, you know, I'm going to try my best. So that was really helpful and nice.
Thoughtfulness and
support. Yeah. It's not so much somebody buying you something.
Right.
It's not nothing tangible in the form of like a monetary gift or whatever, but it's somebody hearing you, seeing what the need is, and trying to help fill it. And I don't think a lot of times people do that. Some people think, oh, yeah, I can't do nothing about that. That's not my problem. Or, oh, that person's bugging out or whatever. But there's something that can be done. That's why we're talking about the whole Donkey and English thing, or whoever's going through it. You can't stop somebody when they make their mind up, when they got a plan or whatever, but you can definitely make them think about their plan. You know, so you always kind of want to make people think, like, is it worth it? You know, people love you, you are loved. Just people reminding you that you're appreciated. That's all I think all we want is to be appreciated in life. You know, like, even if it's not what you need, you know, but just show your appreciation. Flowers, a phone call, a visit, or something, a hug, something, a kind word. I think for me that does it. Okay, so coming out of this somber conversation, we gonna spring ahead, and we're gonna go into, and you know what? That was one of the topics that I want to talk about, is about friendship and how good of a friend are you. And we'll talk, I guess we'll go into it briefly or whatever, but rating your friendship meter. How good of a friend are you on a scale of 1 to 5? And if you jot it down, your closest friends, or, you know, your family members, the ones that's close to you, how do you measure up as a friend, as a support system? You know, and it's doing that checking, because we're always so quick to kind of tell people what they're not doing. You're not doing this for me, but what are you doing for people? And maybe not that person, but for other people that are doing stuff for you. You know, because sometimes we always focus on the person that is doing the most wrong, but there's other people around you that are doing things right. So what do you do for those people? Hey. So me as a friend, recently, I have not been the best friend that I can be. I'll be honest, you know what I'm saying? Because I spent a lot of time all my years being a good friend. I was that friend that didn't miss a birthday. I didn't miss your grandmother's birthday. I call your mother for her birthday. I call your mother if you was away at school. I was the friend that would go sit with your mother or your grandmother. Go to the store for them. I would fill in the gaps. You know what I'm saying? Any holiday, I didn't celebrate holidays like that. But as friends, if they celebrated them, then I was all for it. I would get you the biggest gift. I was the golden girl friendship. You know, if you would see, the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for being a friend." That was me. I used to love that song because that was me. You know, I would do that. So, but recently, especially since we moved. You know, but we moved a long time ago now, and I still haven't been the best friend that I can be. But honestly, I don't really see people being the best friend that they can be to me. So I took a class one time with this genius professor, Lawrence Nyman, at City College, and I was very upset. I was immature mentally, and he said, "Your friends are your mirrors." And I knew the people that I was running with didn't really mirror me. At least I didn't think they did. And I was like, no, they don't, because my friends, none of them go to college, and none of my friends are doing this, and none of my friends are doing that. They're not my mirror. And then another thing he said was, if your friend hasn't been to your house, and vice versa, they're not your friend. And I was like, that's not true, because I don't go everywhere. And I used to argue with this man. And what I found out was he was telling the truth. If someone is your friend and they haven't been to your home, they haven't visited you, took the time to break bread with you, and you haven't done vice versa, what kind of friends are y'all really? You know, like, friendship comes in many forms, but when we talk about closeness and intimacy and people that know your children and you know their children and you know their nieces, and then like that's like friends, you know, that's a friendship, that's real, like, and so all those things combined, I haven't visited that many people in the last coming years. And I'm, you know, for the people that are real friends to me, I'm going to definitely, moving forward, do better. So if I had to rate myself on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm about a 2.5 as a friend. But I'm that person that my phone is on 24 hours a day, and you can call me for just about anything. Everybody knows that. So, but I don't really know so many people that offer that same offer. What about you, man?
I think I'm thoughtful.
Yes, no.
No.
Yeah, you. Yes. So you're
I
thoughtful.
think I'm pretty thoughtful.
So if you had to rate yourself,
Maybe a 5. Everyone could be better, I feel like.
if you gave yourself the highest rating,
5, we said the 10,
1 to
right?
5.
You said 1 to 10, 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, wow, she's thinking really highly of herself. That's good though.
Okay, I think a 3.
3.
3 is decent.
Okay. What about you, Michelle?
Yeah, I'll probably say like a 3. I think I do a pretty okay job of keeping in contact and reaching out to people. Sometimes I have to be reminded to do so with certain people. But I think for the most part, I am a good friend.
Okay.
You know, I definitely open up my home to all my friends.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 to 5.
I would say like a 3.5.
Okay. Tracy.
I'm going to say 5.
Don't do that to yourself.
My friends, they're not defeated of anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say 5. No, but in all honesty, any one of my friends is basically family, and I don't call everybody family. I've never done play cousins and all of that, because when stuff gets to the real, you ain't the cousin. So with my friends, like my friends, not my associates, not my people that I'm like cool with, but my friends, because everybody don't get that title either, I'm a 5.
Okay. Mama Pocket.
Oh boy.
Just rate yourself.
I'll give myself a 2.
So, I think you be a good friend. You listen to a lot of people, but you know, when you get older, things happen, people move away, people get funny acting. You do what you can, you know? So, I'm going to do better for those of you who want me to be better. You know? So, moving right along.
But I think for most people, though, if it's not reciprocated, it's hard to continuously be. So, if, like, you're saying that your phone is always on, anybody know they could come to you, but you don't have that, after a while, you, to protect yourself, will start to, like,
Who won?
and I don't think that puts you at a 3.
I said 2.5.
I don't think that puts you at a 2.5.
So, I work.
Because if somebody can call you in an emergency, if you're the first person that comes to somebody's mind, you must be doing something right. I don't think the 2.5. Yeah, I don't think the 2.5 is calling it an emergency.
Ready your pocket is at 2.5. I'll work on it. I'll give back to y'all.
Not only is
I
your
don't think
phone
so.
open, but you have books to help them until they get to the
Yeah,
phone.
shameless plug. That's a mama for you. So before we wrap up, so just think about it. It's something for all of us to think about. Rate your friend level. Rate your friends, and vice versa. Maybe it's time to revamp, screen clean the friends list. You know. So we're gonna go to our style constituent around the way with May Name and her style corner. And today in the segment we have FIYP Kicks, AR for Prez, with his picks of the week.
So the question was, what are some trends, right?
Yeah.
For spring.
So what are the millennials wearing? Because all the old heads like me will be wearing it too.
A big trend. I think Rashad said he's seen a lot of people wearing vests.
Yeah, I think vests is probably be something that's not gonna come back, but I think a lot more people. Yeah, they never leave really, but I think a lot more people are gonna add them to their wardrobe for the spring time. Yeah.
I think a lot of mixed patterns.
Yeah.
So like
what she has on here.
Yeah, a printed blazer.
Yeah.
Plaid blazer. These are always pretty cool.
Blazers.
Up or down.
You can wear them with spandex, sneakers, slacks, dresses. Blazers are for everybody. Everybody should own at least 10 blazers.
Yeah.
You need a blazer. Yeah. I'm a blazer queen, I'll tell you that. Because when I was bigger and, even when you want to hide a fat roll or some back fat. Yes, exactly. Blazers are the bomb. I want to hide an arm. But you get you a nice blazer that has a nice little shape to it. It gives you that nice little sexy teacher look. Yeah. Get a blazer.
What about color blocking?
Me?
You're an everyday color blocker. you're ahead of your time. But
Thank you. Yeah, I like mod. That's like the mod look. Like that's an old 60s 70s, right? The mod so that they did a lot of color blocking, like what you see in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
So that comes from there. So I like that.
I see a lot of they do neutrals from head to toe.
Yeah.
That could look pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's what you're feeling?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you get on Rini about that, right? But no.
Rini will look like a cloud if you let her. She will have on every variation of sky blue. She will look like Suge Knight. She will have on every variation of red. I think sometimes you gotta, I'm a firm just break it up. Just break it up. You gotta shock somebody. You want to go all one color sometimes, but just every time, it gets a little pimpy. So I look like a pimp.
One more thing I got. Printed suit.
Okay, I like those.
Yeah.
I even like suits that don't match, just as long as they're fitted well and properly. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have some good picks.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your sneaker picks? I see. Do you see all this mess over here? I don't know if you can see. You're gonna want to step into the camera. This is some crazy contraption that he has here.
So these are
that he's gonna talk about in 2 minutes.
No, I'm talking about right now.
Well, no, you got 2 minutes to wrap this up.
Okay, all right. So
this looks like an explosive.
These are called the Puma Cell Carnage. This is a collaboration by a store called Bait, which is like a sneaker retail store, but also like a boutique. And these are what the sneakers look like. So the sneaker was in collaboration with the Venom movie. So it's a Marvel, Capcom sneaker collaboration. And these came out back in October when New York Comic Con was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
why did you just get them today?
Well, they said that when you ordered the sneakers, they weren't on back order, but they were customizing all the sneakers because all the packaging and everything.
They're all different.
They have 2 different styles. They have a red kind, and then they also have a black pair.
So did you know what kind you were going to get?
Yes. These are out of the collaboration. The red one was the most limited one. I believe like 150 pairs in the world.
Okay, so how much is that sneaker worth?
Sell sneakers. So the sneaker retailed at $250. Being that the sneakers just hit the market, the retail value of the sneaker, the resale value of the sneaker is still yet to be determined. So I will wait it out before I actually put a resale price on them. That way I can be fair, but at the same time not cheat myself.
Okay. And then he has the sneaker for the summer because I'm feeling like this is gonna be the sneaker for spring, summer, and he's picking it. So let's see.
And what we have here, these sneakers just released last weekend. These are the Air Max 720s. So these sneakers released last weekend. They are supposed to be a spin-off and a better version of the famous Air Max 270s that everybody was going crazy over last summer. So this is supposed to be like the 2.0 version of the sneaker. It has an air unit. It's a 720 air unit, so it's supposed to be maximum comfortability for all those people that got to stand on their feet for long periods of time or do a lot of walking, or if you want to run, work out. So These are more like the casual sneaker if you want to dress them up, and then also if you want to use them for working out.
And they also like you just take off and fly away.
Yeah,
tired of
you know,
walking by.
It looks very alien-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these sneakers just came out on Nike.com, and a very few handful of retailers actually got them, so they weren't easy to get. But if you do your homework, do your research, maybe you won't have to pay resale value for them, and they cost about $180. So
that's not bad.
yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a new sneaker to work out in, or if you're looking just for a sneaker for some comfort, go with the Air Max 720. I haven't worn them yet, so I'll give you a review next week on how they feel.
Okay.
And that's my pick of the week.
That's his pick of the week. And we're plumb fresh out of time, you guys. So you got a sneaker review, you got a style review, and I'm going to give you my scent. Everyone loves the way I smell. I've been wearing this since I was a teenager. Donna Karan, New York. It's the scent of New York. It is fresh. It is clean. It is spring. It is summer. It is long lasting. It smells awesome. And you'll thank me later. This bottle is about $29, $29.99 in Century 21. It's hard to find. It is a very kind of rare-ish. So if you want it, you got to go searching for it. But definitely Century 21 carries this. You will love it. Every time you hug somebody, they smell like you. So thank you for tuning in to Friend in Your Pocket Conversations with Hope Nation. This is the episode 5. I love you all. Tune into Anchor to hear the broadcast. Until then, abundant blessings and love. Peace. Mwah.